water is stored for the use of the family. It's just that that was such a big house and a big family.
Whoa, people.
That they had to build a really big one. Whoa. Yes, there's always people up on breakneck. We are not going up there.
It's so fun, though.
Okay. What you are looking at right now is one of the buildings for the New York City water supply. It's the Catskill Aqueduct. It's built in 1917. AJ, can you hear me?
1917?
Okay. This is the aqueduct. It's our last stop. Please take notes. Tori, are you taking notes?
Yeah. What's that?
You already know who you're going to copy your notes from. I know. Okay, here it is. Around 1915, they decided they were going to build a huge water system for New York City. People in New York were getting sick all the time. There was no source of clean water. They built the Delaware water system, and they built the Catskill water system, several other ones to bring water into the city. This is pretty amazing. Right underneath your feet is a pipe that's big enough to drive a small car through.
That's it.
You are not going to be able to see. Who wants to guess what's inside that building?
Water.
Charcoal.
Charcoal was a good guess. Nope.
No, concrete.
Chicken wire.
Concrete.
Nothing.
How come nobody? How come nobody said Boo Radley? How come nobody said a pump house?
Pump house.
No.
Oh.
But usually kids
Yes,
say that.
Oriana. Whorehouse.
All right, listen. He's recording
Jack,
you.
that's by your house.
Yeah, well, someone already said prostitute house.
All right. No. Basically, inside, it's just an access point with a ramp that goes down into the pipe that you're standing on.
Dude, I'm
top
going
of.
in there.
So if there was ever a major problem somewhere along, they could. Can you hear me?
Dan, I'm going in there.
Who's turned around the other way and not paying any attention?
Rebecca.
Rebecca, are you taking notes? I tend to doubt it.
There's hair in front of your eyes.
Can you repeat everything you just said like in the past 30 seconds?
I'll repeat a few things. There's no pump inside that house. There is, it's a big access point to get into this pipe should a vehicle have to go in there to find a major problem. Say somebody tries to blow up the New York City water system and blew up right where you're standing, well, that would have to be repaired very quickly. That's what these stone buildings are. If you guys know where I live on Lane Gate Road, there's one right next to my house. There's a number of them. But Luke, what I wanted to tell you is they're all for the same thing. I mean, there's another one over in Yorktown. That's different. But all the stone buildings you see in this area, over by the Hudson River, right next to the tunnel. Do you ever see that big stone building? Okay. This is the end of my lecture because we're going to run out of time, and then we're going to have to run right down. Okay. The water comes down on the other side of the river. It comes down as far as Cornwall. At the base of Storm King, they decided they were going to tunnel under the Hudson River so the water could cross the Hudson. They tunneled and they tunneled and they tunneled. Do you want to guess how far down they had to go before they hit bedrock? Now the river is 200 feet deep at its deepest point, right? 220 maybe. You know how far they had to tunnel to hit bedrock? 1,200 feet. Because the river is filled with gravel and, what do they say?
Schist.
Silt. Schist is probably down there someplace. But you won't hit bedrock until you get down 1,200 feet. So in 1917, they tunneled down 1,200 feet under the Hudson River. Please get these facts straight, okay? Then the tunnel went under the river and came back up 1,200 feet. Amazing. Here's the amazing fact. There is no need for a water pump to get any of this water from Woodstock, where the Ashokan Reservoir is. A-S-H-O-K-A-N. Ashokan Reservoir. How do you spell it? A-S-H-O-K-A-N.
Ashokan.
The Ashokan Reservoir. Okay? The water leaves there and travels down, but not at an incredible height. It doesn't drop a major feet, just a couple of feet. But the water pressure is enough that when it goes down 1,200 feet, it can push itself up another 1,200 feet. Then they tunnel right through the mountain, and this is actually the water from the Ashokan Reservoir. You're standing on top of water coming from the Ashokan Reservoir and going all the way to New York City. It doesn't really serve us at all in Cold Spring. This is the New York City water supply, or at least 1/5 of it. All right? Any questions? Well, now we have to decide if we want to walk up to where the dairy farm buildings were, or if you want. Well, what time is it?
Time for you to get a new watch.
Calling 10:15.
10:10.
Someone's stupid.
All right, let's go up. Find as you get older that your friends want to climb Breakneck Mountain. That's why.
I've already done it.
That's why.
Woo!
All right. Well, if you want a different way to climb Breakneck Mountain, you come up this way. How long do you think it would take from our car? It would take about a half an hour, going really fast to get here. We didn't go really fast. We took a lot of breaks. Right behind you, or in front of you if you're sitting here, is the bridge you should remember. Because if you want to take a friend or to show somebody in your family a cool way up the back side of Breakneck, this is it. You go across that bridge.
That's
follow
it.
the trail. The New York, New Jersey Trail Conference built that bridge about 10 years ago. And it's really great because you don't even have to think, really. Just follow the markers. It winds back and forth what they call a switchback and takes you right up the other side of the mountain. And eventually you'll walk into people that just came straight up the steep way. So it's a little bit longer this way, but it's a nice walk, and it's on a day like this, it would be a beautiful way to spend it. We're not going to do that. Now, Will, here's the part I said I was going to repeat. We usually get farther than this. Luke, stop it. Luke, stop it seems to be the theme. There are huge barns up ahead. You're not going to get to see them. The barns even have fireplaces, and people who first discovered the ruins said, wow, they actually kept their horses and cows warm because there's fireplaces in a barn. How unusual. The fact is, the farm workers used to live in the barn. We won't get to see it. It's still about another 5 minutes ahead of us. So, basically, you have to know that this trail that you're on right now was the main trail. It used to be a road. Where do you think it went, Luke? There was no tunnel. You're at the Hudson River. You're trying to get up to the Hudson Highlands. How would you go?
Up this road.
You would come up this road, and it turns into what? Do you know? You might know.
A highway.
A road.
It's a camp. You know where it is?
Dan, can you? I use a
Camp
bipod.
Smith. My mom used to work there.
No, that's in Peekskill.
What? That was a bipod.
Do you have any idea where you are? Come on.
No.
Lake
Breakneck.
Surprise. Lake Surprise. You know the camp up there?
Oh yeah, I went up there.
Okay.
But this main trail used to be a road.
This was
It's a lot
road
easier.
that connected the North Highlands with what we now know as 9B, the tunnel. You know, that where Incredible Caterers is? You can take this road right down to that area, okay? And it goes right through the Cornish estate. This was a road. And they kept it for a long time. In case there was a fire and they needed to get access, they would use this road. But now it's all overgrown, and as you can see, they don't keep it up at all. But it connects Lake Surprise with right where we are, the Cornish estate. This is the top end of the Cornish estate. There's a huge pond. I usually get to throw tennis balls to my dogs, and they jump in the pond. You're just going to have to take my word for it. We're not going to get up there today. Because some kids have baseball practice, some
You're not
kids
in
have
it.
other
You're
things
not
that
in
they
it.
have to do. We are going to turn around right here. You have to stay together. Where's Andrew?
Connor, stop it.
You have to stay with me. I have to get all the way back to the car.
Andrew, why are you always bad?
I'll hit you.
And you're going to have plenty of time. You'll get back early.
I could use that as
Done
a
this lots of
threat.
times. All right. Are there any
What'd you say?
questions about anything?
Now let's go.
Way to spell Ashokan. Way to spell Cornish. Way to spell Sigmund.
What does this do?
It's Tuesday.
At the latest.
You know why? Because I have to correct them all, and the marking period closes. I'm
David,
just
we're
going to try
putting
to
this
get
whole
all your
thing on
grades
YouTube.
in right here.
Yeah, stand on the bridge and just look down.